from Learfield, this is the Buckeye Roundtable Show presented by Burger King and brought to you statewide by the American Dairy Association Mideast and Cova Insurance, Window Nation, and by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers on the Ohio State Sports Network, presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics. Now here's your host, Tim Hall.
All right, Buckeye fans, here we go on episode 6 of this winter-spring special edition of Buckeye Roundtable. We are so glad that you're with us wherever you're listening throughout the great state of Ohio or beyond. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. You know, this one, I'm not going to say it doesn't have anything to do with the Buckeyes because it was on our campus. It was at Ohio Stadium. It was at the Horseshoe. And it was just such a spectacle. The fact that you had all these parts that were collaborating. You had the Columbus Blue Jackets, the National Hockey League, the Ohio State Marching Band, of course, Ohio State Athletics for lending out their stadium. It was just one of the cool moments in sports history in Columbus where you saw the Blue Jackets beat the Red Wings out there at Ohio Stadium on Saturday. It was really, really awesome. There was a lot of build-up to that. I was seeing on social media just this morning that the national champion Ohio State women's hockey team was doing a morning skate out there. There was a lot of talk. There was a lot of conversation amongst Ohio State hockey fans about how could they get the game out there as well. And I'm sure it's something that both coaches would want. Both teams now have had experience playing in outdoor games. They both played at Wrigley this year, and that's at least 2 years in a row now for the Buckeye men's team because they played a game at the Brown Stadium last year as well. So they're playing Michigan a lot outdoors. But just to see everybody in the Ohio State family involved in that, it was just so cool. I don't know if words can comprehend just watching it, getting the result that you wanted, seeing, Sonny Styles and a bunch of the football players there, getting national TV recognition, getting interviewed while they're, watching the games, guys that, grew up in Central Ohio that are playing for the Buckeyes that are there watching it, soaking it in. The fact that we're using some Michigan hockey players on the CPJ to win that game, to beat the team from Michigan, it was a pretty cool deal. Pretty cool deal. I will talk to Steve Rollick, the men's hockey coach, about that after, getting caught up with what his team did in the Michigan series. I actually went to one of those Ohio State-Michigan games the night before the big Stadium Series clash, and they fought back. They split the series. I was there for the 4-3 loss, but a chaotic finish, and the Buckeyes almost got the equalizer. They had the 6-4 advantage late. They just couldn't find that last goal. But so much going on. We, of course, have the Buckeye football players that are departing, finished up at the NFL Combine in Indy. Now they're all going to try to write the book about how Will Howard can't hack it. All the haters out there are going to use Will Howard throwing some incompletions at the Combine as he doesn't know what he's doing. He can't find his way out of a brown paper bag. But rest assured, mark my words, that is not going to define Will Howard and who or what he's going to be as a professional quarterback. A lot of other Buckeyes were there too. Quinshon Judkins and Travion Henderson both turning on the afterburners, both the sub-4, both in that 4-4 range in the 40-yard dash. Denzel Burke, defensive back, cornerback, was as well. So a lot of Buckeyes were showing up. Some of the defensive linemen, Ty Hamilton, he was looking crazy good. Tyleek Williams, he was as well. So there's a lot to talk about there. We'll talk some Buckeye football offseason topics with Bill Rabinowitz of the Columbus Dispatch later this hour at 6:35. We will keep going over that national championship season. We've been doing the flashback and I've been having a lot of fun chronicling the season with you guys. So that's coming up in this hour as well as we get to that point of the season where it's just big matchups the rest of the way. We know one of them, the last one of the regular season, it's not against a ranked opponent, but it didn't matter too much. But we'll hold that one in the future. We're going to have to go over that one because we're going over all the games from here on out. We did Oregon. We can handle the loss, right? Because it's about where this team went. But tonight, it's a top 5 matchup against the Indiana Hoosiers. What a big game that was going into it at the time and the way the Buckeyes stepped up and performed in that one. We will go over that. Something very wild happened in that Indiana game that we hadn't seen in a long time. If you're good, if you're, as the kids say, like that, then you already have that in the front of your mind, what the Buckeye football team was able to accomplish. And, of course, big basketball week. Save the best for last there, the biggest for last right there in our opener. We got the women's basketball team heading to tournament play. Chaotic finish in their last regular season game last night. If you missed their 3-point loss to Maryland, we'll catch up with Kevin McGuff at the end of the hour about that. And we'll hear from Jake Diebler here in the next segment, but a little taste. Diebler on splitting that trip out west and what a long trip it was from his coach's show today.
Long trip out west, but, I thought our guys really handled it well. We put a lot of thought into how to handle that time out there, the travel, the in-between games. And, I thought we really executed it well.
Well, they got that win that they had to have. Once they dropped the UCLA game, they had no choice. They had to beat USC. It was tied at 80 late. They got a good play to Devin Royal. They wound up winning that game. They needed to, and they got to win a couple games this week, and it starts tomorrow against Nebraska. That's right. The Buckeyes do host Nebraska tomorrow evening. Our network coverage begins at 8:15 p.m. with the Toyota Buckeye pregame show. Coming up, we're going to hear more from Coach Jake Diebler and a little something about the mentality and the belief in his guys and how he actually gets that message across to them. I thought was interesting. That's coming up as the Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
More of Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Ready?
It doesn't matter if you're playing hard or working hard. Your workout only works out if you recover right. Chocolate milk helps you recover for what comes next. It's delicious and contains the right mix of protein and carbs to help refuel exhausted muscles. From biking to bench presses, Milk's protein helps you build lean muscle and gain more from your workouts.
Ready? Recover. Repeat. Brought to you by the American Dairy Association Mideast, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. You can trust their team of agents to develop a strategy that's just right for you. And it's not just X's and O's. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
For 100 years, our passion at Atlas Butler has been helping people. From those who have relied on us for years to those who call us for the first time. For our team, their families, and our community, Atlas Butler is here to keep Central Ohio safe and comfortable with trusted, convenient service. Call today, get it fixed today. That's our pledge to you.
Atlas Butler is at your service. Call 1-800-FURNACE.
When you're here, you understand what it means to be a Buckeye. And at Elk & Elk, we're proud to wear scarlet and gray every Saturday. Every client, every day, means if you're ever injured, we're proud to stand with you in court. And when you're here at the shoe, we're proud to stand with you and cheer on the Buckeyes.
Whether we're here at the big game or in court, we are committed to you.
Elk & Elk, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
For more than 35 years, Hyde Park Prime Steakhouse has been known by Buckeye Nation as serving the best steaks in the city. Our thick-cut, aged steaks have been a staple in Columbus with 3 locations in Upper Arlington, Dublin, and downtown. Hyde Park is proud to introduce our newly added wine room at the downtown Columbus location, where a new elegance in dining will surround you. And coupled with live entertainment every weekend, Hyde Park will be the perfect setting for any occasion or the perfect night out. Hyde Park is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Your home of the Buckeyes. The Fan. This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome back to this week's Buckeye Roundtable show. It's presented by Burger King. I'm Timmy Hall. We're so glad to have you guys here tonight. Going to talk some men's basketball. Big week. You got to have them. You really need these games this week. You guys can join Jake Diebler as he looks back at previous games and gets you ready for the week ahead on Inside Ohio State Athletics. Saturday mornings at 11:30 in Columbus on 10 TV and statewide on ohiostatebuckeyes.com.
Time now for the Jake Diebler Show Rewind.
All right, we'll start with that narrow win at USC. They were looking like they were going to blow out the Trojans. Their offense was cooking from Jump Street. The Buckeyes scored 52 points in the first half. 52 points in the first half. When are you not going to take that? So it's 52-38. They're up by double digits. They look like they're running away from this thing. They're up by 15. And then all of a sudden USC, you could tell, like, even as the Buckeyes scored 52, giving up 38, it's typically about the limit of what you want to give up in any half, like holding teams to under 80. Like you typically want to hold teams under 70 to have a good defensive performance. We see even better than that in today's college basketball. Look no further than the game that was played against UCLA. You lost to UCLA and you held them under 70%. Or under 70 points, excuse me. I sure hope you hold them under 70% shooting. That's the thing, though. USC was making a push to shoot 70%. They lost the game, but they outshot the Buckeyes by close to 10% from the field. Not that much, but 60% for USC. Buckeyes were electric as well, 54%, 55% from the three-point line. Again, the way the Buckeyes shot the three was the ultimate difference in the ball game. They had the edge on USC there, and Ohio State was awesome at the free throw line. Things like that, they keep popping up, right? When you say make your free throws, that's a real thing. You do make your free throws. That could be the difference between a win and a loss. You can just look at that column and how they're 22 for 26. It's the number of times they got to the line. It's how many they knocked in. There weren't a lot of rebounds to be had in this game. Ohio State was only beat 20-19 in that column. Both teams had a lot of assisted baskets, and the turnovers were roughly similar as well, 14-12. That's why in the end it was a pretty close game. Buckeyes had 5 more offensive possessions when it was all said and done, and they had a really good one late when it was tied and the game pressure came back in, and they dumped it down to a guy that they have needed to see get back in his offensive flow. And he didn't have a crazy electric game, but Devin Royal finished with 13 points and 5 boards and a huge and one down the stretch where Jake said they just wanted to get Royal a chance to drive it late against the Trojans.
He did a great job. He read it perfectly, played with great force. He's got great touch in there. And again, trust his free throw shooting. Absolutely.
Yeah, and he knocked it in, so that was big. So it was just a win-at-all-costs mentality, and they got the job done. So they're sitting at 16-13, 8-10 in the conference. When you look at Ohio State and their ratings right now on KenPom, something that we tracked for a while, they're still in a nice spot, which tells you that, I think really what it tells you is that they're good right now, but that's got nothing to do with what they're going to do tomorrow night and then on the road at Indiana. So it's about trying to maintain that position. But at 16-13, they have a much, much better rating than the next 13-loss team, which is all the way down at 47th. And that's actually Northwestern, who has the head-to-head spot. That's ironic, right? Because that's the one big blemish that could quite possibly cost Ohio State when it's all said and done. But right now they're 32nd, and they're fighting for it every time they step out on the court, and that's tomorrow night against Nebraska. But Diebler from his show today talked about just his approach with this team late in the season now.
I also think a lot of times, to some degree, at this time of year, everybody's trying to fight to play to their strengths. But, being able to give really good players different looks on defense becomes important. So, we're prepared to do that, but, we also, you don't want your guys overthinking and becoming too reactionary instead of being the aggressors and playing off instinct.
Yeah, the defense for Ohio State has been something that's a number for them that you'd like to see pick it back up. And again, I go to the 87-82 win over USC their last time out. And when you start a game so hot offensively, I do think to some degree the game just sort of opens up and then it becomes an offensive game. And I think that might have been different if the game were slower paced and shots were being missed. Then you can maybe switch your mentality a little bit. and toughen up a little bit on the defensive end of the floor. But both teams had just decided they were going to open the game up and make a ton of shots in that one. And it's not to say that Ohio State's defense was garbage in that game, but they did give up a 60% shooting night to USC. And if you look at USC, you look at the game they had against Northwestern, how Michigan scored a ton of points and was very in really good, flow offensively. That's 3 out of their 4 games that haven't been great defensive games, and their number has then dipped. They're getting close to being around top 50 instead of top 30, which is what they were at one point here about 2 or 3 weeks ago. But he did like the team's leadership that showed up out west.
And I really felt like during the USC game, it was really good, And listen, we played really tough and together against UCLA. We couldn't throw it in the ocean, it felt like. But we played tough and together enough to be right there at the end. And I thought our leadership was good that game too. So, listen, the best teams, player leadership is critical. And I think we've had some great stretches of that this year. It's been a little inconsistent at times, and some of it is guys growing into new roles. But, I thought it was really good on this trip out west.
One thing, and I just can't imagine how bad Coach Diebler and his staff, how bad they want this. And for this week to get these wins, to send themselves into the Big Ten tournament, having to do a little bit less to try to get one of those last spots in the NCAA tournament. And that's what we're going for. I think everybody knows that. It's try to get to the big dance. That's what it is right now that you've gotten to the end of the season. And I also wonder, as he's going through his first full season as a head coach, like how he is on a day-to-day basis, picking things up, maybe realizing things that didn't work so well from even in the middle of the season, early in the season, whatever, but just continuing to jot down on his notebook. The way I did this worked. I got a positive result out of it. The way I did this did not so much. So I'm going to put this over in this column and maybe address this in the offseason, but how he deals with his players too. That's one thing. I spent a lot of time thinking about how you evolve and how you coach your guys, how mad you get, how many times you put an arm around their shoulder when they don't do something correctly. Here, he kind of talked about his belief in his guys and how he gets the messages across with them. I thought this was a good one today.
At times, sometimes the message is not calming, right? We'll say, but other times it has to be, and guys got to be reminded of how much we believe in them, and I think oftentimes they got to be reminded to move on to the next play, especially with a young team. We got some young guys out there that are in big moments, and moving on quickly is really valuable too. And I think that's a big part of my job, is to get guys ready to play well the next possession, because as we've seen this year across the league, but certainly with this team, every possession matters because they all seem to come down to the wire.
Yeah, I hear a couple of those comments from Diebler and about sometimes you got to remind guys. And one guy in particular that I see it on his face, but I say it because I love the guy and I hope he stays here for a long time and the player that he is, and that's John Mobley. He's had a couple games where when his shot wasn't falling, it had affected his floor game. And I don't think he would deny that. You could see it on his face, especially in that Northwestern game where everybody was off. But it's one of those things where, hey, man, like this is the time. It's now. It's here. It's late in the year. This is a chance to go out there and continue to make a name for yourself. Don't give in. Don't throw in the towel. I'm not saying that he is, but sometimes when you can see the look on someone's face, you want to like let them know how confident you are in them. And you can go out and be that way. Just missing shots isn't going to be the end of you as a basketball player, because there's so much more that you can do to lock things in for this team. Having that court vision, taking care of the basketball, driving, getting to the free throw line, getting to better spots on the floor that can maybe change your sight lines up and get you seeing the bottom of the bucket a little bit differently. Lots of things like that. And big week coming up for them. Tomorrow night against Nebraska. We'll see what they do. Again, coach's comments were presented by Kroger. Kroger Pickup is the easy way to get what you want right when you need it. Try Kroger Pickup today in the Kroger app or at Kroger.com. The road to the national championship flashback takes us to Indiana week. What a week it was. We'll go over that as the Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
You're listening to Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
When it comes to your cancer diagnosis, the choice for your care is clear.
And when you choose the James at Ohio State,
you're opting for care from a highly specialized team dedicated to treating one type of cancer, yours.
Where more than 1,700 scientists are working on new treatments and new hope for every form of cancer.
You're making the choice to have the most advanced treatments, many of which were developed right here.
For your cancer care, the choice is clear. The James at Ohio State.
Hey, Ohio State fan, are you ready for game day? Get hyped and get your crew going with the Buckeye Meal at BK. For $20, you'll get one juicy flame grilled Whopper sandwich, one original chicken sandwich, 2 mouthwatering cheeseburgers, 3 crispy golden small fries, and 3 refreshing small drinks. Grab your $20 Buckeye Meal today and share the taste of victory. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. Tax extra. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, community banking is the lifeblood of the American financial system, building strong, lasting relationships. We're just better able to help guide you down life's road. Flexibility is paramount to success. Community banking is alive and well in the Heartland. I'm Scott McComb. Come on over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
AEP Energy wants to know if you're ready to say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings. Get your energy costs under control by locking in a fixed rate for your electricity supply. You'll lower your bills and get price protection from rising rates. Take control and lock in a low fixed rate. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy is a competitive retail electrical and natural gas service provider and affiliate of Ohio Power Company, AEP Ohio. AEP Energy is not soliciting on behalf of and is not an agent of AEP Ohio.
AgPro has been family-owned and operated for over 64 years. We take pride in developing long-lasting relationships and offering first-class customer service. Need a new tractor, parts for your used equipment, or reliable service? AgPro has you covered. AgPro is here to serve you and your operation as your hometown dealer. Visit us today at any of our AgPro locations or go online to agproco.com to get started with your AgPro experience.
It's Toyota truck and all-wheel drive season with more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else, including all-wheel drive versions of the best-selling Corolla. Now through March 3rd, get low-rate financing on a Corolla or lease a gas-powered 25 Corolla LE for $229 a month for 39 months with $32.99 due at signing. With approved credit through TFS, tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome back to this week's Buckeye Roundtable show presented by Burger King. I'm Timmy Hall. We're going to get to our national championship rewind and look at that Ohio State-Indiana matchup. Oh, that was a biggie. Buckeye fans, say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings with a fixed price plan with AEP Energy. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. And be sure to tune in each game for the AEP Energy halftime report.
It's time for the Buckeye Roundtable Road to the National Championship Flashback. Hit it!
All right, I hope everybody has enjoyed this because it doesn't happen a lot when you have a national championship run in college football. We realize that, and this is a program that lives at the top of the pile, too. This is a program that has been in that preseason top 5 and had a lot of aspirations to win multiple national championships in this previous 10 years since they won the last one. And you know what? A lot of teams, a lot of programs would say, hey, you only went 10 years in between winning national championships in this college football era. Oh, boo-hoo. You know, like that's, I understand that. I'm cognizant of that as well. You get spoiled when you're an Ohio State football fan. But, hey, they did it this year, and we're going back over it. And so we are to one of the big weeks. It's big weeks here on out. And this was brought up by the questioner. I think this was our friend Adam King from 10 TV in Columbus, who posed this to Ryan Day in the press conference. The preview of the Ohio State-Indiana game where a couple of 9-1s and top 5 teams. That's right, Indiana football, a top 5 team late in the season coming to the Shoe. None of us saw this, but the magic that new coach Curt Cignetti sprinkled all over Indiana Hoosiers football, it did stick. So Day was asked about the potential for playing big-time games the rest of the season. When you walk in and you see it's Indiana, Michigan's coming up, then it's just the Big Ten championship, you would have hoped, and the college football playoff after that. This was Coach Day.
Yeah, you can't look at it that way. We're going to approach every game the same way, and, it's going to come down to, our leaders leading the way and, using the experience that they've had late in the season, the last few years. And I think that's one of the things about this team is that these guys have been through, multiple seasons together. And so, it's easy to lose focus, when you're young on, what's going on, across the country or what's going on in the future, what's going on in the past. The most important thing is focusing on what's going on right now. And we got a top 5 matchup right here at home, and we got everything on the line, opportunity to go to Indy, reach our goals. So, we'll talk about that in the team meeting today, but I know our guys are focused. Started on Sunday night, had a great Sunday. Those guys, we're getting some extra work in here on film yesterday. And so, we have a great week of practice, though.
All right, so we get to this game, and we know Curt Cignetti and some of the things that he had done. I was right at when he was introduced, and he was at an Indiana basketball game. He grabs the microphone, and he just yells out, Purdue sucks, and so does Michigan and Ohio State. He didn't even say Ohio. He says Ohio State, and the crowd goes nuts, and that's what he's doing. He's catering to his audience. I mean, who wouldn't do that if you're Indiana's new coach and you're trying to get some excitement back for them? And then the legendary line for Curt Cignetti.
It's pretty simple. I win. Google me.
They were asking me, how do you do this? Coming from James Madison, and, you're able to, get things going at Indiana, this quickly. That was the Google me comment. That was the big one. But we get to the game. Indiana strikes first, which was not a foreign thing for this Buckeye team to get hit first. Tyson Lawton had a 2-yard run, capped off an 11-play, 70-yard drive. Couple of penalty issues. Davison Igbinosun taking some pass interference penalties. That was a theme of the season as well. Davison's back. He's one of the key returning players for this year's team, so you're going to want to see him obviously clean up that technique. But the Buckeyes early or mid-second quarter are capping off a drive of their own here, and a receiver that we don't get to talk about nearly enough for how awesome he was. He was at the combine. Emeka Ibuka in on the scoring.
2nd and 1, Ohio State at Indiana's 11. Howard to go on top. Tosses in the end zone. Ibuka has it for a score. 11-yard touchdown pass. Will Howard to Emeka Ibuka, who catches in the left portion of the end zone. And Ohio State a PAT away from tying this game. They trail 7-6.
All right, and defense would wind up being a theme. It's funny, too, because you start with an 11-play, 70-yard drive, Indiana scores, and you're saying, oh, boy. But when all was said and done, my goodness, was this another example of how this Buckeye defense could shine. And Cody Simon lets us know here.
Snap to Curtis Rourke, back at his 29, pressure coming, sack. Cody Simon hit him from the back and dropped him at that 19-yard line. Linebacker Cody Simon blindsided Curtis Rourke.
Yeah, blindside right in the middle of the back. Hit that number 9 with his helmet, took him down. That's a sack and a half now for Cody Simon.
Fumble recovered by the defense.
Oh!
Ohio State.
Wow, that one got by all of us.
I love it with Paul Keels and Jim Lachey, all the calls from the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield, but you don't really realize that he made that play. But what you did realize early is that the Ohio State defensive line, after that first drive, they were just incredible. They were caving in Indiana's offensive line. Curtis Rourke was a story of the season, the transfer from Ohio University, the former Bobcat, and how effective and efficient he had been for Indiana. He had nothing in this game. Then Indiana sort of helped Ohio State take control of this game earlier on with a lot of mistakes, and this was another big one for IU.
Mark Langston, not the pitcher, the long snapper, will snap the ball for Indiana, who looks at 4th and 16 from their own 29-yard line. Evans has it, goes through his hands. He's got to get on it at the 10, and he's going to be tackled at the 6-yard line. David Adolph there to tackle him. Indiana has the snap go through the hands of James Evans, the punter, and Ohio State's going to have it 1st and goal.
Well, we might have talked that into existence. That hit him right in the hands. went right through his hands and then down to the 5-yard line.
I mean, you simply can't have it, right? You cannot have that in your biggest game of the season. You're on the road taking on the Ohio State Buckeyes. You're at 7-7 here. Late in the second quarter, you're going to have a punt go through your hands. Get off the field, right? Like, you don't get to punt again. You're done playing. Like, I don't know how you could do that as a coach. Those are the tough ones when you're in this thing and then that. And so right after that, the Buckeyes take the 14-7 lead. Quinshon Judkins gets it in. And then this hadn't happened in forever for Ohio State. I mentioned this before. It was the return touchdown. Why did you have to wait 10 years between them? Don't know, but it happened, and Caleb Downs was the one to make things right early third quarter.
Head high snap. Evans rolls to his right, puts the punt in the air. Caleb Downs for Ohio State drifting to his right. He's going to watch that bounce at the 30, roll to the 20 where Downs grabs a hold of it, spins by a defender at the 25, moves to the 30, 35 right side 40, 50-yard line. Caleb Downs behind blockers to the Indiana 40, middle of field to the 30, to the 20 goes Caleb Downs, to the 10, and into the end zone. Punt return touchdown for Caleb Downs. The last punt return for a score Ohio State had was against Indiana, and this one comes this year. 20-7 Ohio State. Caleb Downs with a punt return for a touchdown.
Obviously the one that sealed the deal for me and the one that just let you know, okay, yeah, you're winning this game. Early third, 12:44 left to go. It's 21-7. IU's offense is not able to gain an inch right now. You tack on a Jelani Thurman touchdown catch from Will Howard, makes it 28-7 at the end of the third. Jaden Fielding has a field goal. Indiana does get that late score, and they go for two. And then the Buckeyes just decide to just run the ball in at the end of the game, and there was all that hoopla. And it didn't even seem to bother Curt Cignetti, which that's good because you're trying to score and go for two. The Buckeyes are going to keep the ball, and they're going to put an extra touchdown on as well. 38-15 the final. There was a punt in this game that I didn't think was proper for Curt Cignetti. He would do this again in the Notre Dame game in the college football playoff, but I think it was a 4th and 11, and it's a late third quarter. You're down by a bunch of points. You're thinking the only way you can get back in is if you go for it and just put it in Rourke's hands. But Curtis Rourke, 8 of 18, 68 yards. That's all he mustered up. Indiana's rushing game, 40 carries for 85 yards. That's what that Buckeye defense did. It wasn't crazy offense for Ohio State. Will Howard had 201 yards, 2 touchdowns and the pick, and they ran it for 115 for a 4.0 average. So it wasn't a crazy offensive game. It was some of those special teams plays and the Ohio State defense, and that would lead them to that next week, the last game of the regular season, which we'll talk about next week. And oh, what a fun time. Maybe we'll do that one and the Tennessee game so we can end the segment next week on a high note. But we're going to get back to talking some Buckeye 2025 football topics with Bill Rabinowitz, who covers the team for the Dispatch. That's next as the Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
This is Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
As the official hot dog of Ohio State athletics, Sugardale is dedicated to delicious. Whether you're cheering on the Buckeyes at the game or grilling at your home tailgate, you can count on Sugardale to score a touchdown. Made right here in Ohio for more than 100 years, Sugardale has always taken a personal approach to making great-tasting, high-quality meats. Look for Sugardale hot dogs, bacon, ham, and more at your local grocery store.
Family dinners, game nights, and holiday parties. It all happens at home, and we want to help you realize your dream of homeownership. We're the Ohio Housing Finance Agency, and if you're ready to buy a home, we may be able to help. Visit myohiohome.org for more information on down payment assistance, lower interest rates, and more. OFA makes purchasing a home more affordable. Visit myohiohome.org. Home ownership. Make it part of your future.
At
Kroger, an annual Boost membership just got even better. Now you can choose from Disney Plus with ads, Hulu with ads, or ESPN Plus on us when you sign up. Plus, enjoy unlimited free delivery, double fuel points, exclusive offers, and free items. Sign up for a Boost membership today. It's an easier way to save, including new streaming options to relax with while we deliver your groceries. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
AEP Energy wants to know if you're ready to say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings. Get your energy costs under control by locking in a fixed rate for your electricity supply. You'll lower your bills and get price protection from rising rates. Take control and lock in a low fixed rate. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy is a competitive retail electrical and natural gas service provider and affiliate of Ohio Power Company, AEP Ohio. AEP Energy is not soliciting on behalf of and is not an agent of AEP Ohio.
Your Ohio State flagship station, The Fan. This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome back to this week's Buckeye Roundtable Show presented by Burger King. I'm Timmy Hall, Bill Rabinowitz of the Columbus Dispatch, talking Buckeye football in just a second. Buckeyes are known for paying it forward. That's why Buckeyes Care strives to serve the betterment of our community by positively impacting families across Ohio. Join partners American Electric Power, Kroger, Donato's, the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the James Cancer Hospital, Huntington Bank, and WBNS TV in Columbus in supporting this cause at ohiostatebuckeyes.com/Buckeyes Care.
Buckeye Roundtable Red Zone.
Bill, thank you so much for joining us. I know it was an awesome weekend. I started off the show talking about the spectacle at Ohio Stadium. It was at the Horseshoe, our famous football stadium. It was great to see the Columbus Blue Jackets getting the dub and seeing just how much Ohio State football was a part of all of that, too.
Yeah, I watched on TV. It was really cool the way they melded the two together. You know, it's been kind of I don't know what you would say the relationship between the Blue Jackets and Ohio State's been. Probably not, I don't know, it's not bad, but not close maybe. And
yeah, I would agree.
So to have that event at that stadium, you know, an iconic stadium, and it was a great game. You know, they won, and the Johnny Gaudreau tribute stuff was wonderful. I think they pulled it off.
That's actually a very fair way to put that, because I'd been wondering that too, Bill, about the relationship, because, you know, a lot of nights, Jackets games and Buckeye men's basketball games play sometimes at home on the same night in the same time slot, and fans in the city are sometimes left to choose where they're going to go. But I think people have seen what a great hockey town it is, and, you know, the programs at Ohio State are also really doing really good. And to see, you know, the Michigan series at home leading into that one, it was just a cool event all the way around. I do want to talk some 2025 Buckeyes. How about it? 2 weeks away from spring practice starting.
Yeah,
it's coming.
Amazing, isn't it? Amazing. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I want to know from you, biggest mystery right now for this team coming up this next season.
Well, I mean, I think the headliner question, I guess, is who's going to be the quarterback, but I don't think it's that big of a mystery. Mm-hmm. I mean, I think the clear front runner is Julian Sayin. Sure, I mean, Lincoln Keenholz could go in there and win the job. I mean, I don't think he'd win it in the spring, but, you know, he can show that this is real competition, and it could go into the summer and go into training camp. But I think most people expect it to be Julian Sayin. We talked to guys at the Combine, the NFL Combine this week, and asked about Julian Sayin, and they raved. I mean, Emeka Egbuka, Will Howard, Denzel Burke. I wrote a story about it that they just, like, he throws a very, very pretty ball. I think the main question for him, he's kind of a laid-back guy. I mean, I don't know him well, but I know him. I talk to him enough to kind of get a vibe from him.
Sure.
And I think he's a pretty laid-back guy, you know, from California, kind of, you know. Does he have that fire, and that kind of an external fire? I'm sure he has an internal fire, but can he be the kind of leader that Will Howard was? And now he's not the same personality. No one's expecting him to be that kind of guy, but can he still be a forceful enough leader? I think that's going to be a bigger test than maybe the football stuff.
Well, the last guy we had from California, I love these guys from the cool towns in California, too. Like, you got Rancho Cucamonga. That was great.
Right.
CJ Stroud,
Right.
check. Solana Beach, California. Julian Sayin, hopefully a big, giant check mark, right? But let's go here, then. Mysteries, I know it's a special kind of subject, but what about breakout players? We got a lot of opportunities to see guys that are going to be in more prominent roles. Who's like one or two you see breaking out this next year?
Well, I think James Peoples is going to get a chance to be the number one running back.
Yes.
C.J. Donaldson, they're going to give him a compliment to the transfer from West Virginia, so that could be he's a bigger running back. But I think when you talk to Travion Henderson and Quinshad Judkins, and they raved about James Peoples. They think he's going to be ready. And what we saw last year was impressive. He didn't play as much as I thought he would, but he's pretty good. And when you talk to him, he's got that presence to him, like he thinks he's ready for it, which is important. So I think that's going to be key. I'm curious, how's the play calling going to work? Brian Hartline is, again, the offensive coordinator. The last time he was the offensive coordinator, he was really the coordinator in name only. He didn't call the plays. This year, Ryan Day is going to allow him to call plays. Now, is he going to call all the plays? You know, in the Texas game, in the opener, is Ryan Day going to maybe take over a little bit? I don't know. But somewhat, I mean, Joey Kaufman, my beat partner, did a story on with Ryan and said, no, he's going to be the play caller. So we'll see how that plays out.
Bill Rabinowitz of the Columbus Dispatch talking some Buckeye football. You had the combine that wrapped up in Indy. A lot of people talking about Will Howard because when you splice some drops and some incompletions, when there's no defense, the people with an agenda are going to throw that up there and make it look a certain way. Look, he missed some throws, sure, but Shedeur Sanders was sticking up for him. Where do you come down with this when a guy has a rough outing in shorts and a T-shirt throwing the football around?
If anyone's going to judge a quarterback by how he throws in a combine, then they need another profession. It's a joke. I mean, the guy played in highest pressure games you can possibly play in college and delivered. He's throwing to receivers he's never thrown to. He's throwing in air. It's not the same thing. He's in shorts. There's no actual play. I mean, I guess you could tell, like, arm strength. But, look, the guy played for 5 years in college. We saw what he did last year. I'm not saying he's going to be, a good quarterback or not. But to base it on that is absurd.
Watch his throw on 3rd and long down the sideline to Jeremiah Smith.
The third Jeremiah, right?
Come on, right? That's what football is all about. That's said beautifully, Bill. I could not agree more. Put on the tape. Look at the guy as a 3.95 GPA when guys aren't here to write the Cardale line. We just saw the Cardale line surface again. I can't remember who said it. It might have been Quinn Ewers or somebody like that. Yeah, so it's... I actually
talked to Cardale yesterday, and he brought that up. And somebody said, oh, no, play school.
Yeah. So it's great. He's got the stuff that you want in your locker room. I can't say he's going to be a first-round pick, but I certainly like the prospect there. Bill, always appreciate catching up with some Buckeye football. We'll do it again here soon.
Sounds good. Thanks, Tim.
There he goes, Bill Rabinowitz of the Columbus Dispatch. The Foundation is operating a 50-50 raffle at each Ohio State home men's basketball game this year. Proceeds support community-based NIL opportunities and The Foundation charities. For more on how you can participate, visit The Foundation's social media channels. We're talking women's hoops with Kevin McGuff next as the Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
More of Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
When it comes to your cancer diagnosis, the choice for your care is clear.
And when you choose the James at Ohio State,
you're opting for care from a highly specialized team dedicated to treating one type of cancer, yours.
A team that studies the unique makeup of your disease to develop a personalized treatment plan.
You're choosing our region's only comprehensive cancer center designated by the National Cancer Institute.
For your cancer care, the choice is clear. The James at Ohio State.
Now, the officials have been talking for quite some time.
All righty, let's see what they have to say.
Upon further review, there is no penalty on the play. However, we have conferred and discovered that Bob, the line judge, has saved a boatload for his kids' college using Ohio's 529 plan. It is tax-free, accepted nationwide. Bob recommends we all go to collegeadvantage.com. First down.
Well, that's not entirely unexpected.
Classic Bob.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer, both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. You can trust their team of agents to develop a strategy that's just right for you. And it's not just X's and O's. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
It's Toyota truck and all-wheel drive season with more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else, including the best-selling Toyota Camry. It's all hybrid all the time with available all-wheel drive. Now through March 3rd, get 4.99 APR financing on Camry or lease a Camry LE from just $289 a month for 39 months with $32.99 due at signing with approved credit through TFS. Tax, title, and license extra. Call 1-888-36-TOYOTA for details or go to toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
Buckeye Nation, join us on April 13th at the 2025 Ohio State Foremother, presented by Union Home Mortgage, the Ohio Beef Council, and Raising Cane's. This is your chance to run down the tunnel and finish on the 50-yard line at Ohio Stadium. A portion of the proceeds benefit the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer. This is something you won't want to miss. Register today at ohiostateforemother.com. Go Bucks!
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome back to this week's Buckeye Roundtable show presented by Burger King. I'm Timmy Hall. We roll on. Going to talk some women's hoops with Kevin McGuff. Union Home Mortgage is the official home lending sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Learn about their 1% down payment program at UHM.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 2229. It's always great talking basketball with Kevin McGuff, and my goodness, as we flip the calendar to March, you probably already feel like you got a taste of March Madness. 93-90, overtime thriller on the wrong side of it to close the season against Maryland. Are you able to get over that chaotic one in just 24 hours? How you doing, Kevin?
It was a really tough loss, and I thought we played hard enough. We competed at a high level. We did not control some things we could have controlled. We had opportunities to get some key stops on the defensive end, which we didn't do. Also got a couple of horrendous calls that didn't help. But hey, we got to control what we can control and get better and get ready for the tournament in Indy.
Yeah, you talk about playing through things. You have to learn as a team, right, to play through foul calls, things that either go your way or don't go your way. Are you going to use this as some kind of learning experience or lesson to the team to always be thinking that way, that you can't be reliant on humans that are going to miss calls sometimes?
No question. That's something, we can't control it. It was bad, but we can't control it, and we got to control what we can control. Despite all that, we could have won if we controlled some things that we could have controlled, but we didn't. And so we got to learn. That's where we got to learn. We got to learn from those things and get better and get prepared to we're at that point in the season. It's win or go home in Indy, and then after that, win or go home in the NCAA tournament. So we got to get ready.
I mean, Madison Green making a Harlem Globetrotters type of shot where she slides to the court and keeps her dribble and throws it up and under in the other end. I mean, that was insane before the buzzer beater goes in at the other end.
Yeah, it was. It was insane. And, that was a great play by Madison, and really happy for her to be able to make a play to put us in position to have a chance to go to another overtime. And then, hey, they made a huge shot, running, one foot 3-pointer. That kid made a great shot, and so give her credit. And then obviously we were going to try to inbound the ball, but they rushed the court, and so they had that debacle at the end as well. But probably wouldn't have resulted us winning, but that was part of the crazy finish as well.
Yeah, just a lot of chaos with that one too. You had a shot by why am I blanking now? Who had the shot for you in the lane that got deflected? And
oh yeah, that was Kennedy Cambridge. It was
Kennedy, yeah,
bizarre. They blocked it. First of all, they fouled it, then they blocked it, and then we laid it in, and they came in and called a jump ball. It was crazy. So, but hey, it's all part of it.
It is, right, but it doesn't make it any easier. But Kennedy Cambridge at the other end of the floor, how about the block? How about the defensive play to help send that game into overtime? The defense on Sellers there, she's trying to break her down to get the game winner.
Yeah, Cheyenne Sellers is a great player, and she had played very, very well in the game. And Kennedy made a great play, defensive play there to put the game into overtime. So I was really happy for Kennedy. I thought overall she played well, and that was a huge play and against one of the best players in the country.
Taylor Theory leads the way with 21 points to lead 5 Buckeyes in double figures. A tight loss to Maryland yesterday, 93-90. But Kevin, we're on to the Big Ten tournament now. The regular season is done. How do you sum up what you guys have done, locking in a 24-5 record? Obviously a very pretty mark.
Yeah, I think that it kind of went the way I thought. We lost some great players off last year's team, but we added some really talented kids as well. And so I thought we'd be a little up and down with 7 newcomers, and we were, and we have been. We've had some really high moments, and we had some moments where we haven't played as well. I think we've played better as of late, and I still think the key for us is just to lock in a little bit more from a consistency standpoint. And if we can get a little closer to 40 minutes of being at our best, I think we'll be in good shape heading to March.
I would think as a coach, when you've got the coveted double bye, that's major because a lot of the topics of conversation now for the teams that are trying to play their way in, it can exhaust you if you have to make a 5-game and 5-day type of push and then go into the NCAA tournament. I know you get the extra week, but that still has to wear on a team.
Yeah, no, it's certainly a great opportunity to have the double bye, and I just think especially these games are grueling. I mean, we've had some really tough games down the stretch. We've had overtime games versus Minnesota and Iowa, and just a lot of close games. And so those take a lot out of you. So if you got to play, 4 and 5 days to try to do that, it's really hard.
Any difference or preference of when you play in one of these events? Because you're going to be in the very latest spot on Friday night. Would you rather be the first team up or the last team?
I prefer first team. I like to get up and play and kind of do our thing. And I don't like sitting around all day, but it is what it is. And, wherever we are on the schedule, that's when we'll show up and play and be ready. And so we kind of take it as it comes, but my preference is earlier. But hey, you know what? We gotta. If we wanted to play earlier, we could have finished higher, and we didn't. So this is where we're at. We're in the 3 seed, and so we're going to get ready to play Friday night.
Yeah, no doubt about that, and it'll be an exciting game for sure. It could be Michigan State, it could be Iowa or Wisconsin. We'll have to see how that shakes down. How do you guys prepare as a staff when we get into tournament mode and you're watching that game and the quick turnaround, the quick preparation? Will you have some advanced stuff done on either Iowa or Wisconsin ahead of their game against Michigan State? How will that work for you guys?
Well, whomever we play, it's going to be a tough game. Obviously, we just played one of our best games of the year to beat Michigan State in a good one here at the Shot, and we went to overtime with Iowa a couple weeks ago. And like I said, the good news is we've played both of them recently, so we kind of have a feel for what they're doing and how they're playing. And like I said, we know we're going to have a challenge in whomever we play.
How badly does your team want this? When we speak of just a Big Ten tournament, forget about the NCAAs for now. How bad do they want this tournament championship?
Well, we always aspire to, compete for Big Ten championships. That's kind of a big part of our program. And so I think our kids will be really motivated to come in here and try to be at our best. And, it means a lot. It's always meant a lot. And boy, now you've added these West Coast teams and just the depth of this league. the quality of the teams is amazing. So, we want to measure ourselves against the best, and we're going to get a chance to do that in Indianapolis.
It's a monster. Yep, you've done the work, so you've got it to a point where you can win 3 games and cut down the nets there. Kevin, best of luck to you and your team. Can't wait to catch up next week and see where you guys are.
Sounds great.
Absolutely. Kevin McGuff, women's basketball coach for your Ohio State Buckeyes. Tough loss yesterday to Maryland, but still, they have just been so good in these last 3 regular seasons. 24-5 record going into tournament play. It's amazing, and it's still another one of those years where you just wonder, could this be the year for Buckeye women's basketball? They've got some really talented players. A lot more coming up in hour 2. More Buckeye Roundtable next.
Life is more fun with a pal. So is pizza. So check out Donato's new $5 Pizza Pals menu. Order any large pizza and add on your choice of a sub, salad, wings, a 10-inch pizza, and more for just $5. It's the new $5 Pizza Pals menu from Donato's. More toppings, more flavor, more fun. Donato's. Gotta love more.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hello, I'm Ross Bjork, Senior Vice President and Eugene Smith, Wolf Foundation Endowed Athletics Director at The Ohio State University. In partnership with AEP, Donato's, Kroger, The Ohio State University, Wexner Medical Center, Huntington, and 10 TV, Ohio State Athletics strives to inspire the community to make a positive impact on children and families in our great state through the Buckeyes Care Initiative. Show and share your support in the community by using the hashtag BuckeyesCare.
Family dinners, game nights, and holiday parties. It all happens at home, and we want to help you realize your dream of homeownership. We're the Ohio Housing Finance Agency, and if you're ready to buy a home, we may be able to help. Visit myohiohome.org for more information on down payment assistance, lower interest rates, and more. OFA makes purchasing a home more affordable. Visit myohiohome.org. Home ownership. Make it part of your future.
Come on over to Heartland and join our family.
Now, community banking is the lifeblood of the American financial system, building strong, lasting relationships. We're just better able to help guide you down life's road. Flexibility is paramount to success. Community banking is alive and well in the Heartland.
I'm Scott McComb. Come on over to Heartland, where banking really feels good.
Where banking feels good.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. The Fan. Sports Center.
Good evening. I'm Buddy Wells. Starting with college basketball as the Ohio State men play their final home game of the regular season tomorrow night. The Buckeyes host Nebraska. Tip-off at the Shot is set for 9 o'clock tomorrow night. As for the Ohio State women, they begin their Big Ten tournament run later on this week. The Buckeye women clinched themselves a double bye, so they won't play until the quarterfinal round on Friday night. They could face any one of Iowa, Wisconsin, or Michigan State in that game. They'll tip off around 9 o'clock or so on Friday night. In the NFL, for the second year in a row, the Bengals are placing the franchise tag on wide receiver T. Higgins. Higgins would make just over $26 million this upcoming season if he ended up playing on the tag, but the Bengals have stated that they will continue to work towards a long-term deal with their star wide receiver. And in hockey, the Blue Jackets will begin a 4-game road trip tomorrow night against the Lightning in Tampa Bay. The CBJ have won 4 games in a row and currently own the top wildcard spot in the Eastern Conference playoff standings. Breaking sports news when it happens right here on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Looking for a very special way to commemorate the 9th national championship in Ohio State football history? Then check out the beautiful Ohio State timepieces at OxiaTime.com. Oxia has created a series of heirloom quality designs to celebrate the Buckeyes, including the limited edition Ryan Day autograph box sets. Equally impressive to the quality of their products is the quality of the people behind these watches. Go to OxiaTime.com to learn more on their backstory and claim your piece of Ohio State history. That's AXIATime.com.
When it comes to your cancer diagnosis, the choice for your care is clear.
And when you choose the James at Ohio State,
you're opting for care from a highly specialized team dedicated to treating one type of cancer, yours.
A team that studies the unique makeup of your disease to develop a personalized treatment plan.
You're choosing our region's only comprehensive cancer center designated by the National Cancer Institute.
For your cancer care, the choice is clear. The James at Ohio State.
Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King, is on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hour 2 of Buckeye Roundtable is here. I'm Timmy Hall. I just want to remind you that if you missed anything from the first hour, you can always catch up with Buckeye Roundtable anywhere you get your audio. Download the podcast. Just search it. Just search Buckeye Roundtable anywhere you listen to your sounds, and you can download it there and subscribe. And you can also watch Buckeye Roundtable live on YouTube. Absolutely. Just go to our flagship station's YouTube channel. Just search up WBNS Radio on the tube, and you can see us right there. All those shows get libraried that way as well. Maybe you're driving around and you're listening to it, and you get to your driveway or you get into the garage and you think it's over. No, just go take over the big screen TV in the house. Have a little dinner and Buckeye Roundtable. And just know that I'm starving as well, and I'm always racing out of here at 8 o'clock looking to get some dinner. Late Monday night dinner. You start the week, you put in the day, and you just can't wait for that plate of food. I will tell you what, though, it was a fantastic weekend highlighted by that Columbus Blue Jackets Detroit Red Wings game in the Stadium Series that just took over Ohio State's campus. I mean, there were shows at St. John Arena, OAR, sort of like a half Maryland, D.C., half Ohio State band with their history. They're really good. I've loved them through the years. You had the Ohio State marching band involved. You had at the puck drop ceremony, I think you had kicker Jaden Fielding, Sonny Styles, President Ted Carter right out there. You had the Spirit Squad that won a national championship, our cheer squad, that's great. The women's hockey team and the football team all celebrated and honored for their national championship season. So it was just a banner weekend showing off campus. Obviously, there are big things with all the athletic teams that we're talking about. Women's hockey, men's hockey going into tournament play. Ohio State women's basketball heading to tournament time. Buckeye men's basketball trying to win a couple of games before they go to the Big Ten tournament next week. But to see the outdoor hockey game at the Shoe and to see the NHL on full display and the Jackets doing their thing and kind of honoring, having hints with the Buckeyes with the scarlet on their jerseys. And it was just something special, just something awesome. Can't wait to talk to Steve Rollick about his team and a little bit about the events this weekend as well. So we do have the men's basketball team returning to action tomorrow night. Our pregame coverage begins at 8:15 for the 9 o'clock tip against Nebraska. Right now, let's talk a little high school hoops.
It's time for the Encova Insurance High School Player Award on Buckeye Roundtable.
All right, one of the highlights of the Roundtable show is the presentation of the Encova Insurance Archie Griffin Athlete of the Week Award. During each Roundtable, Encova Insurance and the Ohio State Sports Network honor a high school athlete for their outstanding play and team leadership. This week's recipient is Mary Gurton, senior for the Princeton girls basketball team down in Cincinnati. She led her squad to a Division I regional championship with their 58-45 triumph over Walnut Hills. Girton said, it's been a roller coaster of a season, but I love the team I have. It's fun, it's exciting, and I'm blessed to be here with this group of girls. Head coach Dee Davis and her coaching staff, they're certainly proud of the accomplishment. Ready to see what their Vikings can do at States, with Girton leading a great defensive effort. She had 9 points early to help her team come out of the gates, and she also had a team-high 3 assists and had 2 clutch three-pointers in the second half to help her team pull away. She had 19 when it was all said and done. So an incredible job. Congratulations once again to Mary Girton, senior, for the Princeton girls basketball team in Cincinnati. Recipient of this week's Encova Insurance Archie Griffin High School Athlete of the Week Award. Encova Insurance, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Time now for the American Dairy Association Mini Statewide Top Performers on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, I said tourney time, right? March Madness doesn't just have to be for college basketball. It's so much more. It's everything. It's the hockey tournaments I mentioned. It's high school hoops, it's state tournaments. It really is a great time. We'll stay in that Cincinnati metro area. How about Jason Ciamano for the Cincinnati Hills Christian Academy? 24-point performance against Bethel Tate last week. He doubled his average in that game. Second straight 24-point game for him as well. Well done. Also look at Jaden Arnold of Aiken, their district championship run last week. In the semifinal win over Ross, he was 8 for 12 shooting, 5 for 5 at the stripe to go off for 22 points in a comeback win, outscoring the Rams 38-24 in the second half. That's a good job. Looking to the Columbus area, shout out to Big Walnut and Coach Aaron Stumpf, who won a district title in his first year as head coach. He won 2 of those as he was becoming the school's all-time leading scorer as a player. Now his son Eli is a good player for the Eagles. He had 13 in the 49-36 regional win over Franklin Heights. We've also got a surging Westerville North squad, won districts by topping Worthington Kilbourne 59-50. Josh Henderson, he had 19 for the Warhawks, who have won 6 of 8. And DeSales moves into the D3 regional semis. Really hot team. 7 straight wins, including 2 wins over the rival Watterson. They're up tomorrow night at Taft Coliseum. Love Taft Coliseum. Fairgrounds. Yes. I mean, you can get some high school basketball, maybe see Boys to Men there during a state fair. You never know what is going to be going on at Taft Coliseum. So that's tomorrow night. They're taking on Louisville. Also looking to the northern region, how about Toledo Whitmer with their 64-62 win over Brunswick? That was at Akron North High School. Makai Leach, 19 points, and Antoine West gave him 13. All of West 13 were in the second half. That's clutch. And we tracked it last week. Quinn, they call him the Turtle. What is this, Entourage? Quinn Kwasniak. He was chasing down John Diebler's all-time scoring mark. Well, he did it in impressive fashion. He went for 53 as Cornerstone Christian beat Berlin Center 84-44. He needed 51 if he was going to do it in that game to top Deeb's 3,208 points, and he went for 53. Congratulations. Honestly, honest to goodness, jokes aside, Turtle, you ain't slow, man. That's impressive. 3,210 points. You're sitting on the all-time leading score in Ohio high school basketball history. That's awesome. Good for him. And the guy that you passed, too, one of the great sharpshooters in Ohio State history, Jake Diebler's kid brother. Our top performance from around the state, presented by the American Dairy Association Mideast. A reminder from Ohio's dairy farmers, 8 ounces of delicious chocolate milk have 8 grams of high-quality protein with the power to fuel everyone from elite athletes to weekend warriors. Coming up here, we're going to talk to Kevin Noon, who covers Buckeye football recruiting better than anyone for Buckeye Huddle. We had not yet gone over the most recent commit in the 2026 class. Going to pick his brain about what the Buckeyes are getting with that commit and what might be next with all the shuffling with this assistant coach's staff. We go on the trail as the Buckeye Roundtable show continues.
You're listening to Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Union Home Mortgage knows Buckeye fans never leave Ohio State behind. We've helped millions of first-time home buyers get into their dream home through our 1% down payment program. Put as little as 1% down, and UHM tosses in up to 2% on the house. Learn more at UHM.com or call 877-846-4968. Union Home Mortgage Corp is an equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 2229. UHM will contribute up to 2% down, no greater than $2,000 towards a 3% down payment. Home buyers responsible for the remainder of the down payment. This offer is available for the purchase of a primary residence only. For full terms and conditions, visit UHM.com.
Hey, Ohio State fan, are you ready for game day? Get hyped and get your crew going with the Buckeye Meal at BK. For $20, you'll get one juicy flame grilled Whopper sandwich, one original chicken sandwich, 2 mouthwatering cheeseburgers, 3 crispy golden small fries, and 3 refreshing small drinks. Grab your $20 Buckeye Meal today and share the taste of victory. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. Tax extra. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
AEP Energy wants to know if you're ready to say goodbye to higher rates and hello to savings. Get your energy costs under control by locking in a fixed rate for your electricity supply. You'll lower your bills and get price protection from rising rates. Take control and lock in a low fixed rate. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. AEP Energy is a competitive retail electrical and natural gas service provider and affiliate of Ohio Power Company, AEP Ohio. AEP Energy is not soliciting on behalf of and is not an agent of AEP Ohio.
It's Toyota truck and all-wheel drive season with more all-wheel drive choices than anyone else, like the family-size Highlander and the bigger, more powerful Grand Highlander. Now through March 3rd, get any new Highlander or Grand Highlander with 6.49 APR financing up to 72 months, including hybrid models with $1,681 per thousand borrowed, subject to approved credit through TFS. Plus, you get 2 years no-cost maintenance. For complete details, go to Toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit OhioStateBuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Buckeye football lives here. The Fan. This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome back to Buckeye Roundtable. I'm Timmy Hall. Our show is presented by Burger King. You can visit your local BK restaurant, grab your $20 Buckeye Blitz bundle. That includes 2 Whoppers, a cheeseburger, 3 small fries, 3 small drinks, and a custom OSU crown. That's me. What are you having, Bodie? I'm just kidding. Only at Burger King, where you rule.
It's time to talk Ohio State recruiting. This is Buckeye Roundtable's On the Trail.
Kevin Noon of Buckeye Huddle here to talk some Buckeye recruiting topics with us. Kevin, it's good to talk to you. It's mean, man. They got me doing the food reads here late in the 7 o'clock hour before I've had dinner.
Yeah, I mean, that's just cruel and unusual punishment. I mean, when you sit there and have to talk about food and you can't take any food in the studio. There's too much, equipment in there.
Yeah, I mean, I got some Oreos here. That's about all I got. Oreos and ice water. So I don't want to eat too many cookies, though, because I need like a burger or like some tacos tonight. So I don't know. Haven't made up my mind what it could even be breakfast for dinner, an old favorite. There's many, many options on the table. But what's new with you, Kevin? More so, what's new with recruiting with Ohio State? Because I know since they shuffled the assistant coaches around, maybe they got to reset the board. Not reset the boards, but just get their bearings. A lot of guys are out on the Buckeye cruise for cancer as well. So it's an interesting time. And we've got is it a dead period or a quiet period right now for recruiting?
We just went into, I guess, a quiet period. I know we came out of the dead yesterday, and I was looking at a recruiting calendar this morning, strangely enough, and for whatever reason, I didn't retain it because it just, it always seems
hard
like
to remember.
Changing, but
yeah,
it is hard to remember. But yeah, you're right. I think that there were a lot of coaches had to go back out and make contact with a lot of players again, whether or not you're a new coach in the mix or somebody who has kind of been shuffled in positions, and you're trying to get these official visits lined up here for the summer, the ones that are coming out, the spring summer officials. And get in with kids. I mean, they're still offering right now. Not everybody's on the Buckeye Cruise for Cancer, so there's some people still minding the shop over at the Woody. But recruiting never sleeps, even if it has been a hot minute since Ohio State has picked up a commitment.
So here's the thing. Yeah, it's actually today. We just left the dead period, March 3rd here, the day we're sitting on. We entered into the quiet period, where, as if folks don't understand the difference between those two, dead period is when it is not permissible to make any in-person recruiting contacts or evaluations on or off of a member institution's campus. Quiet period, you are allowed to make permissible in-person recruiting contacts on your campus. So visit season, right, Kevin? That's what that means, visit season.
Yes, absolutely. You're not able to go to the schools and bump. It was always called the bump rule, and bump into recruits. And then that's a lot of work to sit there and go, 8 hours away or whatever. But yeah, you can start doing the visits again. I mean, we're going to have spring football starting up here in less than 2 weeks, and that's going to be really important. And those are going to be some of the visits to watch right there. I mean, I know that we certainly put a lot of focus on the official visits. Those are the ones that are the bigger deal. The school pays for the official visit. The unofficial you pay for out of your own pocket. But, I think those unofficials will do a lot, especially with some in-state guys and people that can just kind of come up on a whim, even, more so than having to make a lot of serious plans. I mean, we're going to have high schools are going into spring break, things like that. But where's our spring break, by the way? I don't get one, but yeah, no. That's all going to be really important coming up. I know that the 19th is appearing to be one of the days that a lot of kids are looking like they're going to be on campus.
Okay, we'll circle that one. Kevin Noon from Buckeye Huddle talking some football recruiting topics. We're on the trail, and it's no surprise that the quiet period starts. So we were texting about this guy just before we came on. Elbert Hill, there's a guy that's on the Buckeyes list and on their radar, very much so. Cornerback from Hoban. So an Ohio guy, that Tim Walton's going to be all over that too. And he's visiting Alabama today. He's posting photos with Kalen DeBoer. What about him? Is there somebody else that the Buckeyes are trying to make some moves on or closing in on?
I think Elbert Hill is really important now. I always hate playing the game of who's the most important player on the board or whatever. I really try to stay away from that, because how do you differentiate between a corner and offensive tackle and a linebacker and everything else? But Elbert Hill is a huge target, and I still like where Ohio State stands on there. He's going to have his visits coming up. Certainly, visiting Alabama doesn't make Ohio State fans have a lot of warm and fuzzy feelings. But Ohio State doesn't generally lose out on Ohio kids to Alabama. I mean, I'm not saying it's never happened, but you're having to go back to Trey DePriest. I think there was probably one since Trey DePriest, but
is he a Dayton area guy, DePriest?
Yeah, Dayton, Springfield.
That sounds right.
Southwest Ohio. So. I think that he's somebody that you want to keep an eye on, but I think that the biggest thing is going to be what Ohio State's able to do with its in-state offensive linemen. It's so many years. It's like, well, it's so hard to be able to go out of your territory and be able to compete against the southern schools or the western schools, depending on where the kid's from, and pull these kids. I mean, it's going to be really important for new offensive line coach Tyler Bowen to really close ground and be able to start landing the Sam Greers of the world.
Not going to lie, Kevin, you shook me with that Trey DePriest name drop right there. That's deep track right there. I wasn't ready for that one tonight, but that's a good pull. So I also want to look at a little profile. I love doing that because I don't think we had caught up since the Buckeyes recruited their latest 2026 guy. And it's funny, we're talking about Elbert Hill. They got a cornerback from Avon, Ohio, in Jacob Weatherspoon. He committed to the Buckeyes. What was that? It was right after the Rose Bowl win. I think it was a nice hit for Tim Walton right after the Rose Bowl. But 4-star corner, what do you know about him? What have you learned about him? What does Ohio State get with a 4-star athlete, Jacob Weatherspoon, in the 2026 class? First defensive player in that class.
Yeah, a little under 6 foot, 5'10", 5'11", depending on which database you're looking at. A $170. I mean, he can play really kind of anywhere in the secondary, but Ohio State's recruited him, more importantly, either as a corner or a slot corner, also known as the nickelback position for those who don't follow the constantly changing terms that we have for positions.
Yeah,
but,
I think the position, not the band. The position much better than the band.
No. He's not looking at this photograph. I can promise you that. But I know. You get that with the deep cuts. You're gonna get some bad dad jokes too. But I think that he's an important get because there were 3 really solid corners in Ohio. I mean, probably more than that, but the 3 that everybody was looking at, and I don't know if Ohio State was going to be able to land all 3 with Albert Hill, Jacob Weatherspoon, and then Victor Singleton out of Toledo, who's committed to Illinois at this point. I'm not convinced that one's over. I'm not saying that Ohio State's going to be able to get back in on that one, but I like where Ohio State sits with some of these in-state guys, and I think Jacob Weatherspoon is important too. As we always talked about, the guy that's going to be kind of a face of a recruiting class, and while maybe he's not Devin Sanchez all the way. I mean, he's working hard on Sincere Johnson, the linebacker out of Cleveland-Glenville. He's working on Albert Hill. I think the state of Ohio is so important to Ohio State's recruiting this cycle that being able to land more and more Ohio guys will be good. So, these guys that are all doing the camp circuit together can, make plans.
That's good. Well, we look forward to seeing him on campus and seeing the start of the career for Jacob Weatherspoon when we get to that time, but still a lot of work to be done. For the 2026 class, it's really just getting off the ground. So the quiet period starting today means that some big things are going to be coming down the pike for Buckeye football recruiting. Just give it some time. Let these guys get back from the cruise, and some work will get done. Kevin Noon, Buckeye Huddle. Follow his stuff on social media. Thanks a lot for joining tonight, man. Appreciate it.
Anytime.
Yep, appreciate it. There he goes. Take a look at this photograph. Oh, my gosh. Why? Why did we do it? Why did we do it? Let's change the subject. We're going to talk Buckeye men's hockey. Split series with Michigan. They're on to tournament play coming up. We're ringside with Rollick. It's Buckeye Roundtable.
This is Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Now, the officials have been talking for quite some time.
All righty, let's see what they have to say.
Upon further review, there is no penalty on the play. However, we have conferred and discovered that Bob, the line judge, has saved a boatload for his kids' college using Ohio's 529 plan. It is tax-free, accepted nationwide. Bob recommends we all go to collegeadvantage.com. First down.
Well, that's not entirely unexpected.
Classic Bob.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at Safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Family dinners, game nights, and holiday parties. It all happens at home. And we want to help you realize your dream of homeownership. We're the Ohio Housing Finance Agency, and if you're ready to buy a home, we may be able to help. Visit myohiohome.org for more information on down payment assistance, lower interest rates, and more. OFA makes purchasing a home more affordable. Visit myohiohome.org. Home ownership. Make it part of your future.
Hi, it's Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. Growing up in the family business, I've seen firsthand the joy and love that comes with finding the perfect engagement ring. For over 77 years, our family's been dedicated to providing the best quality, unmatched selection, and the guaranteed best price. From timeless classics to custom designs, we have the perfect ring for every love story. Let our family help you celebrate the moments that mean the most. Visit Diamond Cellar today on Salmo Road or at Easton Town Center.
Health insurance companies are expected to carry health benefits, but CareSource does so much more. We look beyond doctors' offices and hospitals to see the challenges that face our members. Then we help them achieve not just better health, but better lives. Along with great benefits, we also help our members find stable jobs, housing, childcare, and rides so they can find greater independence. At CareSource, we're removing barriers. We're improving lives. We're reimagining healthcare.
At Kroger, an annual Boost membership just got even better. Now you can choose from Disney Plus with ads, Hulu with ads, or ESPN Plus on us when you sign up. Plus, enjoy unlimited free delivery, double fuel points, exclusive offers, and free items. Sign up for a Boost membership today. It's an easier way to save, including new streaming options to relax with while we deliver your groceries. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Restrictions apply. See site for details.
The Fan. Ohio sports destination. This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome back to Buckeye Roundtable. Hope you guys are having a good Monday night. I'm Timmy Hall. Our show is always presented by Burger King. Hey, Buckeye fans, power up and carbon down with AEP Energy and Eco Advantage, their 100% renewable energy plan for your home or business. Visit aepenergy.com/OSU to get started. AEP Energy, the official electricity and natural gas sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
This is the Elk and Elk Report on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
All right, this is the part of the show where we take you through some of the injury situations for Ohio State men's basketball. We're going to get Steve Rollick and talk some men's hockey here in just a second. And you know what? There really isn't, since the sickness left the room. This is a Buckeye basketball team that has, had absences. They've had sickness. They've had guys that are banged up. I heard him talking about Colin White on his radio show today, and now he's had a lot of his growth this year as a true freshman stunted because of the leg injury, and that's been impacted. So he did come out there and hit a big three against USC. White's been a guy that maybe could have been giving them more not major minutes, but more minutes, more steady minutes, maybe a 9 to 10 minute a game guy if he hadn't been slowed by injury so much. But I think they're going to be hitting their stride in this final week where the sickness is leaving that room. Aaron Bradshaw back up to speed. He's not late for the road trip anymore, so they're all back home together. Hopefully this is good news for the Buckeyes going into their game against Nebraska tomorrow. Senior day for the Buckeyes. I believe it's Micah Parrish and Quez Glover. But we'll talk some more Buckeye basketball coming up this hour with Adam Jardy of the Dispatch. Our injury report presented by Elk and Elk, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Call 1-800-ELK-OHIO.
It's time to hit the ice and talk some Ohio State hockey. This is Buckeye Roundtable's Rinkside with Rollick.
Always a good night to talk some hockey with our guy, Steve Rollick. Steve, the coffee's got to be pretty good. I know you wanted that second one against Michigan, but why don't we go back to Friday, or you know what I mean, go back to Thursday. It was a crazy hockey weekend in the city in general. We'll talk about it. But getting that 2-1 overtime win, that was thrilling. Just watching the replay again, what a left-handed shot for the winner from Smith there. Great job by him.
Yeah, it was a great game. I mean, it was the atmosphere was incredible right from the start. We had such a great crowd, and it was playoff hockey to a T. There was not a lot of room on the ice either way, and they had some chances, we had some chances, and just a big-time goal by Smitty there on the 2-on-1 on a 3-on-3 in overtime.
Yeah, how do you guys get jazzed up for a game like that? Take us through your game day routine. Is it at all different because it is that team up north?
Well, that's the thing. Sometimes you get a little too jazzed up, and yeah. I don't really have to say too much. I just never have. I mean, our guys understand it. They know who we're playing. They know what's at stake, and I let our leadership group kind of take care of that. We just kind of go through the video clips and the game plans and talk about things like that, and talking about controlling our emotions is really the biggest thing.
Are there things that happen in past games against this team that just get under your skin more because it's Michigan? I mean, the way I look at that is it doesn't really seem to be any different, the hockey aspect of it, than some of these other games. It's just that the blood rivalry matters a little bit more. Because I was in the building, I was about 12 rows behind you for game 2, Steve. I didn't come by and say hello because I saw you were shaking your head a lot with some of the penalties that your team was taking. But just the times that you almost see a hockey fight break out, but the refs in college hockey step in right away. It happens a lot in this series, in this rivalry.
Well, that's the thing. You nailed it on the head. The rivalry, right? I mean, neither team has to do too much to get the blood flowing, and the energy, the emotion. It's just that little extra, right? It's like going against your best friend growing up in the street, and if you're playing pickup hockey or whatever it might be, you just have that little extra. And it's certainly in there. Both nights you could feel it.
You probably did have to feel, if we talk game 2, you get the 2-1 overtime thriller win on Thursday. Game 2, you're down 4-1. I know you had to feel that your guys were a step behind and the ice was a little bit tilted, but you also had to love the way that they battled back. I mean, you almost had that equalizer. What did you have, 6-on-4 there when you pulled the goalie late because you had the penalty and a 2-man advantage? Almost got that to a tie game to send it into another overtime.
Yeah, it's crazy how hockey works. I mean, they certainly had the better of us for a while there, but never give up. And ironically, we took it too many men. Well, when Gunnar Wolf hit the post, it went post to post and didn't go in. But our people hit the horn, put the lights on, and all that. We had a defenseman go on the ice to celebrate the goal. We ended up getting no goal and too many men on the ice. It was just the way it went. I mean, it was incredible, but we had a chance right to the end. I mean, having the puck in their zone in the last 30 seconds, we just didn't get enough pucks on the net there toward the end.
I'll let you know. We're with Steve Rollick here, the men's hockey coach. Me and my son Jack, we stood up and celebrated like that was a goal. So at least we lived it, and I think many people in the arena around us. I can't tell you that. I don't know if I've ever been in the building for a double poster. I know they happen, but that blew my mind. That was not a goal. I mean, it had to be the same for you. Like, you got to be kidding me right now.
That was a double whammy when it post to post and have a guy go out to celebrate and get called for too many men. I mean, you just never see that happen.
No, cannot do it. But again, the fight with this team to get it to a chance there to tie that game. But now, Steve, you go forward. It's playoff hockey. It's tournament hockey. This is such a great time here. The calendar's flipped. We're in the month of March. Tournaments in basketball, tournaments in hockey. This is the greatest time. What are you guys excited about with the series against Wisconsin coming up? Another home series here. That's great for the fans.
Yeah, I'm just really proud of our group to go out there and earn obviously home ice and play here, even though we're downtown at Nationwide. Which is an incredible building. So we'll be excited to play down there. Wisconsin's a very, very good hockey team, very competitive. We've seen that in the 4 games that we've played them. They can beat anybody in the country, and it's going to be a dogfight. That's for sure.
What's the message for your team? I know you're coming off the loss, but you probably don't feel like you're on any kind of skid despite the series against Minnesota. There's no shame going up there and playing some tough games, but you sort of get to reset here. And how much are you going to focus on improvement in these next couple of days for things that you've seen on tape in the last 2 series?
Well, the biggest thing is, again, and I talk a lot about this, being the best version of us. It's that time of year. Like, we got to focus on us this week. We got to take care of our business, our detail, our preparation, and we got to be ready. When that puck drops on Friday, we got to have a little bit of swagger and confidence to go out there and play Buckeye hockey. I think that's really the message this week. And we had a great practice today, so I'm excited about it.
You mentioned swagger. I mean, you got to have it that time of year, grit, toughness. What is maybe a trait or two that you like about your team this time of year?
Well, again, I mean, when we're on our game, we just don't give up a lot. We don't give you a lot of room. We play 5 guys connected. We play good defensive hockey and take advantage of our offensive chances and also stay disciplined. I mean, if you're going to run around, and we took a couple bad ones on Friday there, you can't give teams at this time of year extra chances, and I'm talking power plays and stuff. So we got to stay out of the box, and usually the team that does that has the advantage of winning that game.
Well, Steve, obviously you guys weren't the only game in town this weekend, but I was not able to make it to the events on Saturday at the Horseshoe. Obviously, the Ohio State University and the campus was hosting the great event for the Stadium Series with the Jackets and the Red Wings. I felt like I was a small part of it going to your game on Friday because it was a great primer, and I saw, I don't know did you guys get a chance to go out there as a team? I feel like I saw stuff with the women's hockey team on social, but did you get out there to the ice at any time to check it out or skate around after it was done?
No, you know what? Our team, we went over and got to take in the festivities there for the game, and what a first-class event that was put on. It was just something else just to be there. I know it was cold We were able to get over there as a group and take the game in. So fun to be a part of it. Hopefully we'll get the chance to play in there at some point.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have gotten the chance to play outdoor hockey games. I mean, you had them this season at Wrigley, and just to see that going off, I cannot remember an event in this city that just sort of brought everybody together for your team to go out there and be a part of that, and part of the almost 100,000 people watching an NHL game. And the first time, of course, they ever gave that to the Blue Jackets. 43rd game, I believe. First one that they got to play outside.
Pretty amazing. I mean, what a statement for hockey here in the city of Columbus. To me, I mean, you get 95,000 people there at a game, and just it'd be so much fun to have a chance with the women's program and ourselves to have an event like that over the next year or two would be incredible.
Steve, are you thinking about at-large bid, or are you just full focused on this series here in the Big Ten tournament against Wisconsin?
Yeah, I got to take care of today, really, and then tomorrow, and just really looking forward to Friday. And that's all we can really take care of, right? You just can never get too far over your skis, and you just got to kind of take care of business, and that's all I'm worried about right now.
Awesome. Beautiful. We'll go get another cup of coffee. I don't care if it's nighttime. You deserve it. And we'll talk soon, Steve. Good luck this week.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it.
Great stuff. Steve Rollick, men's hockey coach for Ohio State, heading to the Big Ten tourney against Wisconsin. Go to ohiostatebuckeyes.com and look at the ticket situation. We'll flip it back to Ohio State men's basketball. The push to the NCAA tournament is right now. What do the Buckeyes have to do to get in the big dance? Adam Jardy of the Columbus Dispatch joining us next here on Buckeye Roundtable.
More of Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King coming up on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hi, I'm Archie Griffin, two-time Heisman Trophy winner. The right coverage can be a game changer both on and off the field. That's why Encova Insurance and their local independent agents are prepared for what's next and protect what matters most to you. Whether that's your home, car, business, or family, Encova's got your back with a policy that fits you perfectly. With local independent agents in your neighborhood and innovative insurance products that can be tailored to fit your unique needs, Encova's playbook is an easy win for your peace of mind. You can trust their team of agents to develop a strategy that's just right for you. And it's not just X's and O's. Your expert agent will guide you and provide insurance solutions so you can confidently manage your risk and count on a financially secure future. For auto, home, and business insurance, you want Encova on your team. Visit Encova.com today to find an agent near you. Encova is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Go Bucks!
Union Home Mortgage knows Buckeye fans never leave Ohio State behind. We've helped millions of first-time home buyers get into their dream home through our 1% down payment program. Put as little as 1% down, and UHM tosses in up to 2% on the house. Learn more at UHM.com or call 877-846-4968. Union Home Mortgage Corp is an equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 2229. UHM will contribute up to 2% down, no greater than $2,000 towards a 3% down payment. Home buyers responsible for the remainder of the down payment. This offer is available for the purchase of a primary residence only. For full terms and conditions, visit UHM.com.
We have acres of brand new Chevys, Chryslers, Jeeps, Dodges, and Ram vehicles, as well as used cars and trucks that you're looking for at the Jeff Weiler Columbus Auto Mall in Canal Winchester. And if we don't have what you're looking for, we can find it at one of our 23 other locations. So come shop the lot or view over 2,000 cars right at your fingertips at JeffWeilerColumbusAutomall.com. Plus, use Weiler Direct to see monthly payments, value your trade, and get pre-approved. Rooted in family, driven by you.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Hey, basketball fans, Credit Union of Ohio wants to help you score more by making life more affordable. It's time to play with a team that helps you win every day. Credit Union of Ohio's loan rates have dropped to provide affordable financing for the things you want and need. It's time to reevaluate your current loans and consider refinancing with a team that cares about you. Check out current specials and get started scoring more money at cuofohio.org. That's cuofohio.org. NCUA insured, equal housing lender.
Your home for Ohio State athletics. The Fan. This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome back to this edition of Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King. I'm Timmy Hall. Hey, the Buckeyes return to action tomorrow night against Nebraska. We're talking men's hoops here. Our coverage begins at 8:15 with the Toyota Buckeye pregame show here on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Buckeye Roundtable's Ohio College Hoops Update.
All right, we're going guest for this edition of the Ohio College Hoops Update. We're centralized on the Buckeyes for this one. It's Adam Jardy of the Columbus Dispatch. I know we got to get the coach to his youth basketball practice here in 5 minutes, so we appreciate it, Adam. Are the boys running the three-man weave yet? Have we figured that one out?
We're not quite to that level yet, but I did introduce knockout last week, and that was a big hit. So we'll probably get a game or two of that in.
Oh man, there's nothing better than ending the practice with a good spirited bout of knockout. But when the three-man weave clicks in, you know that we've got something. Like that's a big step in the progression with your basketball team, learning that weave.
Absolutely is. It's a lot of fun seeing these kids grow and get better. I've had a ton of fun coaching this team.
That's awesome. Good job, and good on you for doing it. When you look at this Buckeye basketball team, Adam, I know you're sorting through things almost on a daily basis. Bubble watch, I just checked it. The ESPN metrics, 55% chance for Ohio State to get in. So obviously they had to have the win against USC. What do you think just today? What do they have to do to get in the big dance in terms of wins?
I think they got to win 2 of their next 3, and I think they're pretty safely in at that point. You look at a lot of the projections right now, and they're on the right side, but barely. And as long as they can avoid like dropping both games this week and having a quick Big Ten tournament exit, they've got enough quality wins, and they don't have any bad losses. That all adds up to a resume that puts them right on the right side of the bubble right now. But I think they win both games this week. They're feeling really good going into the Big Ten tournament. You split. You'd really like to win 1 or 2 and remove all doubt.
So that's, I guess, where I was going for. If we pretend that we got a split here, win the Nebraska game, lose on the road to Indiana, you also think 1-1 gets it done? That would put them to, 18-15 overall record at the Big Ten tourney? Or do you think 2 wins at the Big Ten tourney would need to be done?
I mean, I think you want to feel good about your chances. So say you want to win 2. I think that certainly would remove all doubt based on where they are. I mean, this year is really proving the old axiom that it's easier to play your way or it's harder to play your way off the bubble than it is to play your way onto it.
Yeah.
Because they've been coming into this with pretty good metrics and pretty good numbers, even as the losses have piled up. And so they're not necessarily chasing and trying to climb their way in there. They're just trying to maintain.
Right.
And as long as you don't put together a significant losing streak like they did 2 weeks ago, you can stay on the right side of that much easier than you can fight your way back onto it.
It's a good point. They're 32nd. We've been pointing that out. They're 32nd in KenPom right now. It's just that some of those metrics, the defensive number has been slipping here lately, getting closer to 50, which is not what you want to see because they were top 30 defensively not long ago. But Adam, what to you? I mean, we've been going over this roster and some of the issues with them and the inconsistencies. What's the biggest issue that could prevent them from getting this done down the stretch?
I mean, just a lack of consistent post play. I mean, I think on a given night you expect that between Bruce Thornton, John Mobley, Micah Parrish, you're going to get enough production out of your backcourt to put you in pretty much every game. It's what can you get down low. And for a while, Devin Royal was consistently, getting you a certain amount every night. That's been a little more inconsistent recently. I thought it was really telling that when they needed a bucket to win that USC game, they went to Devin Royal. And I thought maybe that's the kind of thing that kind of puts a little fire under him going into these last 2 games of the regular season because, that he came through in a huge way for them in that game. So it's not just him though. I mean, Sean Stewart, Aaron Bradshaw, like those guys got to contribute to some degree. And it's been a season of inconsistency for them, certainly. But if you're just getting decent play from both of those guys and Devin Royal scoring and rebounding, I think that's what they need if they want to solidify things and find a way to be more consistent here in these last couple.
I'm with you, Adam. And that was a thing with Devin where he was defended well, but he was aggressive. It was a great move. He elevated. He put it high off the glass. He was not taking no for an answer on that possession. That's what you needed to see, sort of a eye of the tiger, fire in his eye type of thing, and he did it. If we go over all the Ohio teams, I'll let you go here, Adam, but it just hasn't been a banner year for the Big Four in Ohio. You want to see teams that are living in the top 25, at least a couple of them, and just overall, it's just been a bit of a struggle. Since he could have had that game against Houston this weekend, but they didn't get it. There's still a lot of work to do to try to get in the tournament. Just you want to see something get done here late, and it might have to be the Buckeyes.
Yeah, I think Xavier's kind of in that category as well. They're a team that's kind of flown. They haven't had like the quality major, like grab your attention win necessarily, but they're kind of sneakily like right there.
Yeah.
I actually saw the field of 68 had a projection that they went out today that they had, and brace yourself for this, a first 4 game in Dayton between Ohio State and Xavier.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, you know what? Xavier has won 5 in a row. You're right, and they had the win on the road against Marquette. They could just they just don't have St. John's on the schedule here late. They haven't had any big games on the schedule. Creighton dropped out of the top 25, but that's still a good win that they just got. But anyway, go coach those kids up, Adam. Appreciate you joining us here tonight.
For sure. Shout out my Flames.
Go Flames. All right, there we go. Adam Jardy of the Columbus Dispatch covering Ohio State basketball. Follow his stuff on his social media channels. I go back real quick to the Jake Diebler radio show earlier today, and he's talking about the atmosphere that they want to have tomorrow night. It's a late tip-off. This is big, right? We're breaking it down. You've got to win more basketball games down the stretch if you want to maintain your spot in the picture.
We need another great environment tomorrow night in a huge game. So, I think there's value in having access to all the recovery tools, everything you have when you're at home that you might not have on the road. But I've also been proud of the way this team has played on the road, and our edge and our mentality. Whether we've been down and had to come back and win or been up and held on to win. I'm proud of the way we've played on the road. And even a couple of our losses, we were right there. So, this team really for almost every single game, has played with great toughness, has played with an edge, has played together. It's the foundation of this, young program moving forward. And, certainly playing at home in front of your fans, I think there can be just a great advantage, and we're going to need that tomorrow night.
Yeah, I got a feel for this when I was in the building for the Ohio State men's hockey game, and you know how for men's hockey, they don't have the upper bowl fully open. They just don't. For the number, they can track that. They've got the data on how many tickets are bought, how many tickets they're generating for those games. And they did open a piece of it because it was a primetime series. It's the Ohio State-Michigan series, so you're likely going to get a little more. And I don't know what the exact number is, lower level and club level, but I keep saying this all the time. Depending on what the market is for a specific game, I really think the Buckeyes should look at what the University of Texas has done with their new basketball arena. And if you guys haven't seen what I'm talking about, take some time and Google search the Moody Center, fairly new place for Texas. When it's a game, because you're not talking about the crowd, you're talking about the environment. There's a difference. You can have a great environment with a lesser number of fans. Baylor's basketball environment is 10,000 fans. Duke's basketball environment is 8,260. Kansas's basketball environment is 16,231. It's all different. It's just how great is it? So if you're not going to have the whole building filled up, how can you maybe make it look a little smaller, put video boards up around where you don't need people sitting, and add to the experience? Take a look at that. And that's something I would love to see the administration do. We'll hear Jake Diebler's thoughts on Nebraska as a team and something he didn't like about their first game. We'll take a look around the block next as Buckeye Roundtable continues.
You're listening to Buckeye Roundtable, presented by Burger King on the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Ohio State fan, are you ready for game day? Get hyped and get your crew going with the Buckeye Meal at BK. For $20, you'll get one juicy flame grill Whopper sandwich, one original chicken sandwich, 2 mouthwatering cheeseburgers, 3 crispy golden small fries, and 3 refreshing small drinks. Grab your $20 Buckeye Meal today and share the taste of victory. At BK, have it your way. You rule. Limited time only at participating Ohio area restaurants. Tax extra. BK is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Go behind the scenes of one of the most recognizable landmarks in all of college athletics with a tour of Ohio Stadium. A seasoned redcoat will be your guide as you make your way through walls of the stadium, into the press box, and onto the field. Upgrade to the VIP package and get special access to the band center and the Ohio State home locker room. From corporate outings and school groups to single-person tours and small families, Ohio Stadium Tours offers a variety of options and pricing that will meet your needs. For more information, visit ohiostatebuckeyes.com and book your tour of Ohio Stadium today.
Hi, this is Paul Keels. This Buckeye season, don't let a broken windshield ruin your game plan. Safelite Auto Glass makes it easy to get your windshield fixed with their mobile glass shops all over Central Ohio. They can come to you anywhere, giving Buckeye fans more time for game time. OH? Man, I love that. Schedule at safelite.com. Safelite Auto Glass is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Safelite Repair, Safelite Replace.
Union Home Mortgage knows Buckeye fans never leave Ohio State behind. We've helped millions of first-time home buyers get into their dream home through our 1% down payment program. Put as little as 1% down, and UHM tosses in up to 2% on the house. Learn more at UHM.com or call 877-846-4968. Union Home Mortgage Corp is an equal housing opportunity lender. NMLS number 2229. UHM will contribute up to 2% down, no greater than $2,000 towards a 3% down payment. Home buyers responsible for the remainder of the down payment. This offer is available for the purchase of a primary residence only. For full terms and conditions, visit UHM.com.
Looking for a very special way to commemorate the 9th National Championship in Ohio State football history? Then check out the beautiful Ohio State timepieces at OxiaTime.com. Oxia has created a series of heirloom quality designs to celebrate the Buckeyes, including the limited edition Ryan Day autograph box sets. Equally impressive to the quality of their products is the quality of the people behind these watches. Go to OxiaTime.com to learn more on their backstory and claim your piece of Ohio State history. That's AXIATime.com.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizzas, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and the official wing sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Family dinners, game nights, and holiday parties. It all happens at home. And we want to help you realize your dream of homeownership. We are the Ohio Housing Finance Agency, and if you're ready to buy a home, we may be able to help. Visit myohiohome.org for more information on down payment assistance, lower interest rates, and more. OFA makes purchasing a home more affordable. Visit myohiohome.org. Home ownership. Make it part of your future.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. This is the Ohio State Sports Network from Learfield.
Welcome back to Buckeye Roundtable. It's presented by Burger King. It's also brought to you in part by Encova Insurance for auto and home, encircling you with solutions you can trust. Encova, a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Time now for Buckeye Roundtable's Around the Block O.
All right, we're sticking with men's basketball here momentarily because we had the Jake Diebler radio show. We had a lot of good stuff from that. We can only play so much over the course of the 2 hours. But something that Coach Jake Diebler was not too happy about in the road loss to Nebraska.
It's not good enough. Yeah, it's not good enough, Rob. We didn't do a good enough job protecting the rim. Mm-hmm. You know, we let them get to the rim for scores. Some of it was off of offensive rebounds. Mm-hmm. And a couple were individual post-up possessions, but we gave them with some defensive breakdowns that, you know, really we needed to position ourselves better, communicate better. We gave them some layups, and then in a game that, you know, like this is coming up on Tuesday, right? You can't do that. You can't give easy points with a breakdown. You got to be really connected and tough. Make them earn it. And we didn't do that enough, that game. That's why they shot so well, because we gave them too many easy looks.
All right, here's one more breakdown from Jake scouting more of the Huskers for tomorrow night's big game.
Defensively, they really shrink the floor. They force you into crowds, particularly along the baseline, and they're going to make you, really make you pass. So they're a heavy rotation team defensively, without getting into too much detail about the scheme, but in general, defensively, and then offensively, they put you in, they make you make multiple decisions as a defense. Aside from their ability to go into ball screens with Williams, which isn't a lot of decision making, with that. He's really good, and there's times they keep it very simple with him having the ball, but then there's other times where they're going to put you in a lot of situations where you got to make a decision to switch, to not to switch, to things like that. So we try to keep our guys playing off instinct. Communication's critical this game defensively, and you also again, you got to know personnel tendencies. They do a really good job of playing to their strengths.
It's a good team. Look, you got to handle Bryce. You're going to need all 4 of your key guys to step up and continue to do things for this team. If you want to make the NCAA tournament, the push starts tomorrow night at home. Some other things here, too. How about Buckeye baseball hosting St. John's? Home opener is tomorrow. I'm here wearing a coat in our studio. I'm wearing a baseball coat, too. It's a Sox coat, but typical, right? March 4th, tomorrow at 3 p.m. at Nick Swisher Field at Bill Davis Stadium. The earliest home opener for the Buckeye baseball team since 1992. My goodness. How about freshman Nellie Ong for the women's golf team? She leads Ohio State's push through the first round of the Darius Rucker Intercollegiate. That's at Long Cove Club in Hilton Head, South Carolina. Only want to be with you. I know what I'm listening to on my way home. Yes, that's a little Hootie and the Blowfish. And congratulations to the women's hockey team. They are in the final face-off, going to take on Minnesota as their postseason play picks up. Guys, Buckeye Roundtable presented by Burger King has been brought to you statewide by Encova Insurance, the American Dairy Association Mideast, Window Nation, and your Central Ohio Toyota dealers. The executive producer is Skip Mossick. For our producer tonight, Bodie Wells, I'm Timmy Hall. Thanks for listening. This is the Ohio State Sports Network presented by the Ohio State Wexner Medical Center, the team physicians for Ohio State Athletics. Have a good Monday. We'll see you next week on Buckeye Roundtable.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Well, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Donate today at carsforkids.org. That's cars with a K. Your car can be picked up as soon as the next day. Receive a tax deduction and vacation voucher.
1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Now accepting donations of land, homes, buildings, or any kind of real estate.
He opens his toolbox before he opens his wallet and believes you can fix anything with 20 minutes and some pride. He's Mr. DIY, and when he needs metal, he goes to metal supermarkets. Artists, hobbyists, machine shops, maintenance professionals, and welders all count on metal supermarkets for over 8,000 metal products, shapes, and grades. If it's metal, they've got it or can get it for you. Cut to any size and ready fast. Visit the family-owned franchise on North Wilson Road or Columbus at metalsupermarkets.com.
Hey, it's Anthony, and I've got a fitting personalized for you. From the moment you walk in the Good Feet store, they're going to take the time to understand your unique lifestyle, your daily routines, and most importantly, the pain that brought you in to see them in the first place. If your feet ache after a long day or that discomfort starts radiating through your knees, your hips, your back, I've been there. The Good Feet store is going to help you where you need relief and find the arch supports that work best for you. And they're working for me. I walked all over the place in New Orleans covering the big game. I was loving it. I literally was walking for miles around the French Quarter, Canal Street, everywhere, because I had my personally fit arch supports in my shoes. For more than 30 years, the Good Feet store has helped thousands of people get back to feeling comfort on a daily basis. I want you to be one of them. Go in, take the free test walk. They're immediately available. Good Feet products are proudly made in the USA on Polaris Parkway and on Stringtown Road in Grove City, or